Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. Join me today, welcome some special guests down in Virginia. We got Nate and we got Eric from the band Devolution. How you boys doing today?
Hey, what's up, man?
Very well.
Not too bad. And I guess, so which part of Virginia are y'all hailing from?
So we're originally from the Hampton Roads area, like Virginia Beach, but now I live near Richmond. And Eric, you're near Blacksburg.
Yeah, I'm Southwest Virginia, like Roanoke area, so not too far from him, but pretty far on the other edge of the state where we grew up, though. So, but still in Virginia.
You guys born and raised in Virginia?
I was.
Yeah, born in Cali, but raised in Virginia. Where are you from, man?
I'm actually up north, actually in the Pittsburgh region. So
Pittsburgh. Okay, cool.
I'm still a fan at heart. So
Okay.
so every now and again I like to tune in because I know the University of Pitt and the college football they'll play the Virginia Cavaliers. Is it Cavaliers?
Yeah.
Is that their mascot? Okay. Make sure I pronounce it right. So every now and again, it's good to just tune in and see how the boys are doing. Even though I think recently, after the whole thing with Kenny Pickett, they've not been the same since he went on to the NFL. So kind of struggling to get back into a pro, I was going to say Pro Bowl, but a bowl-oriented sort of team, if you know what I mean. So that'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, how you guys been recently? What's new?
Right by Virginia Tech, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Pitt's come. Yeah, I'm right up the road from Virginia Tech here, so Pitt's been through here quite a bit. So yeah.
Well, my parents actually went to Pitt there too, so we always want to make sure we represent the right colors.
And then you got UVA up the road, so it's they're kind of like the rivals, between that's like a pretty long-standing rivalry. But yeah, Pitt will play in both, and so yeah, very familiar.
I guess they always do the rivalry game. Was it close to Thanksgiving or something?
Yeah, last game of the season. It's called the Commonwealth Cup. So yeah, it's pretty good every year.
That's good to hear. And sorry I interrupted you today. I kind of jumped the gun a little bit there, so it's all good.
Good, man. Good.
I guess I was leading into this question. I guess, how you guys been? I guess, what's new? You got any new music?
Oh yeah, it's busy. There's a lot going on. We've got a new single that comes out tomorrow. I don't know when this is going to air. But we got a new single coming out tomorrow, which is Friday the 21st. Then we've got the full album that's dropping the following week on June 28th. So yeah, lots coming down the pike for sure.
I was going to say, I did check out your music last night. It sounded pretty killer. So, Deceiver Believer. Yeah, that's the name of the song, right?
Yep, and the album.
And the album too, yeah. How many songs you got releasing on this new album?
10 tracks. Yeah, 10 tracks. So we're excited. We're definitely excited about it.
That's good. I got to elaborate more on the music here in just a little bit here too. But Nate and Eric, I want to welcome you guys both to my podcast. And the way it's going to work is I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Let's get to know you more, both as the musicians, but also as the individuals as well too. So, are you both ready?
Let's get it, man.
Let's do it.
All right. So I guess first off, who's the oldest of you two right here? Because by seniority. Okay. So Eric, here you can go first. I guess tell us your backstory. I guess who are you and how did you become a musician?
Man, so it was for me. The music kind of started late in life. Just ended up with a bunch of buddies who were musicians at the time, and just kind of followed them around. And then just got really interested in what they were doing, what they were playing, and I'd always wanted to be a drummer since I was little, but they would never really had the opportunity to do it. But then being around these guys and kind of just being kind of a fly on the wall and seeing how things go and how it works, and I just slowly started getting into it, and then got kind of self-taught. I didn't really have lessons or anything, and then worked my way into a couple of bands here and there, and then eventually found Nate, and then here we are still. I mean, it's like 20 something years later. We're still writing music, but it just kind of just fell in my lap really to just be hooked up with the right people back then, and then it's kind of worked out that way ever since. But so it's been playing for quite a while with little breaks here and there, but yeah, it's started kind of like beating on trash cans in the garage, and kind of like just like every other kid, want to be a musician. And then next thing you know, here I am talking to you. So that's crazy how it works.
Be like, hey, mom and dad, I want to be a rock star. So
yeah, when I grow up, someday.
Someday. Actually, who was it that introduced you to music? Was it your mom or dad with like classic rock and that sort of stuff?
I mean, it was always around. The rock music. I mean, there was a local rock station, when I was growing up that I was really into. I mean, growing up in the '80s, it was a little bit, too hair metally for me at the time. But as it went on, my parents were really cool with letting me listen to, the heavier stuff. They didn't really care. They didn't mind it too much. Like my friends' parents were very kind of like protective of that stuff, but my parents were cool with it. And it's like, yeah, whatever, it's no big deal. And I started getting into the heavier things, and that's what I kind of gravitated towards. And so, but they just kind of let me get into whatever I wanted, as long as it wasn't too crazy. But I wasn't into anything super crazy. But that's where it kind of started for me.
All right, that's cool. And I guess Nate, go ahead, tell us your story.
Yeah, I mean, music. I was always, ever since I was little, I was always just into music, tinkering around on the piano. We had a piano at the house. So tinkering around on that, watching MTV, watching, again, it was like 80s. So you've got all the solos and the shredding. And I was just like, man, I want to do that. And finally, when I was 12, I got an electric guitar. And that's really, where it started as far as being a musician.
All right. I guess how'd you meet Eric? I guess what's the story between you guys? Because the bio you had said to me, it seemed like you guys were pretty inseparable, to say the least.
It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. It basically, I met him through, I guess this was the mid to late 90s. Maybe it was like 96-ish, something like that. This was before, the internet was like big. I think we had AOL or something, and the internet consisted of like, AOL chat rooms and whatever. So things were still kind of done, DIY. Like, I was 15 at the time. I wanted to find a band, starting with a drummer. And so I would post an ad and, just go to the local music stores and put up a little want ad with like the phone number on the little cut up tabs at the bottom. And, pretty much it. I put up an ad. It was like, influences, Metallica, Pantera, Sepultura. And Eric called and we started jamming, and we never stopped.
And the rest was history afterwards.
I mean, our favorite bands, lined up. So he knew all the Metallica songs like I did. He knew all the Pantera songs, all the Sepultura songs. So it's like when we first got up, and we were just playing, I mean, just so much of these covers and just having a blast. And that's really how it started. I was 15. I think Eric was like 21.
21-ish, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was only about 10 years ago, because if I was 15, I'm only 25 now. Wasn't that long ago, but, no. But yeah, that's how we met, and then we formed a band in Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads area. It was a pretty successful for a local band, and yeah, that's how we met.
I was always tempted to say, "Jesus, you're old." So.
Right?
Yeah,
Get there.
We can't be like Peter Pan, where we just fly off to Neverland there, just never grow up. That would be nice. So.
Dude, I don't know about
mentality.
I am.
Yeah. When I don't know, when my wife's still wondering when I'm going to grow up. So yeah, it'll happen eventually, I guess.
I like keeping my kids side right here. It helps build my self-esteem, as I like to say. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I guess let's jump to the band a little bit here too. So I guess first off, list what roles you play in the band, I guess, and list off the other members who are part of it. I guess whoever wants to. I guess Eric. We'll have this question to Eric. So
yeah, I mean, simple for me. I'm the drummer. So I that's, and then, as far as like, I'm decent with like arrangements and things like that, but the most of the, the riffs and everything come from Nate.
I play guitar. Yeah, play guitar. And then John Howard, he's on vocals. John is from Fret Signal, and his current band now is I'm Monolith, which has got guys from Devin Townsend Project. It's got Kai from Methods of Mayhem. Then we've got Christian Oldie Wolbers on bass, and you probably know who he is. X Fear Factory, Violence, Cypress Hill, Archaea, Power Flow.
He's got an impressive resume, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. He's actually, that's why he's not here tonight. He's doing rehearsals with Cypress Hill because they're getting ready to do some shows, and I think it's Nashville, and then they're going over to Europe, and so yeah, he's staying busy. It's awesome.
It's good to stay busy. It's a crazy world out in these days here too. So I guess Eric, did you come up with the name Devolution? I guess where that idea come from?
No, that was Nate. I think, we had our previous band, was sounded very similar. So I think it's something that's kind of been floating around in Nate's head for a while as far as, the name and what, what he wanted, and it's kind of just flowed ever since. So yeah, that was Nate's, that's Nate's, out of Nate's mind.
It's been a long time too. Like, I think we've been going under that moniker since probably maybe even 2000, 2001, something. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And it's basically around the just the concept of devolution, society, history. Yeah, kind of. It's open ended.
A dark moment in human history, to say the least. Probably put it that way, in a manner of speaking. So I can understand. So I guess give us the history of the band too. So I guess how did it form, and I guess what's the story behind it?
I know. Eric, do you want to do it?
Well, if we're gonna go back to the beginning, then
beginning, middle, and an end. So
yeah, because we've basically been in almost the same band for 20-something years, but within little breaks here and there. But the push was, after our bands, like the touring bands that we had, kind of went their separate ways, but me and him still kind of stayed together with, still wanting to, still write and scratch that itch and keep the creativity going. And then once the technology started to get better about being able, because we weren't in the same, city. So technology got better to be able to share music back and forth, and be able to, I would play on my electronic kit and play drums, and he would write music, and it just kind of progressed from there. And we would just keep writing songs, and just to keep the creativity flowing. And, that's just progressed into today to where we are now. And it's just, just never put it down, just kept going. And, that's where we are today.
Yeah. Pretty much, just like you said, we had that band, Deviation was what it was called. And after that split, Eric and I continued on and just kind of wrote and recorded remotely. Really, and have just been doing that ever since. Just been working on our writing, just songwriting, just everything. And over time, you just that's just what we do. So we've gotten pretty proficient and quick, and we've got our own just flow and just way that we do things, and it's pretty efficient for us.
Sure is.
Guys, what year did you form the band? Because it can lead to the next question about COVID.
So the band, with all of its current members, like how it is now, 2021, spring of 2021.
Yeah, that was when, I guess, how bad was COVID for you guys, I guess, in terms of family and personal and music-wise? I guess, Eric, you can go first here.
Yeah, no, I mean, it other than, being stuck at home for a little while, but then it also, had a little bit of a silver lining, being able to spend more time on the music and, really kind of focus on it. Couldn't really go anywhere. We had, just needed something to do, but that, it made the music kind of stand out a little bit more because we had more time to focus on it. Before, we were living our lives, we had jobs, families, things like that. And now, being able to spend a little more time on it. And that's what COVID kind of did. Maybe it kind of maybe kickstarted it a little bit for us and to push us in this direction, where before it was more of a, hey, I got a song. Let's just write this song. But then it's like, hey, we can actually do something with this. We can spend some time with this and do this right. And, and it kind of put us in that place to get where we are now. And so, I mean, it wasn't, maybe a blessing in disguise, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, for me, it's a little bit different. I mean, COVID, I think it affected me just kind of how it affected everybody in the sense, the kids are home, we're all home. At the beginning, there was a lot of just uncertainty, and 2 weeks, turned into 2 years. And, I think we all kind of went through that together. And for me, COVID, as far as like the music, had like zero, it really had zero impact on anything. My big roadblock for music was in 2016, I had twins. So that, like, dude, I mean, that flipped my world upside down. I didn't write a song for real. It was like 4.5 years until they were like, old enough to kind of feed themselves and just at a point where I could, do something. So that just happened to be during COVID. And that's when I was able to start doing it. But yeah, and then with John and Christian, they were on a website, like a studio musician kind of work for hire website. And I'm not sure if they were on that as a result of COVID or not. So I don't know. That'd be an interesting question for them. But yeah, man, that was COVID. Thankfully, it's behind us for the most part. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
really, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Next one. So
It was like for me it was, I guess, we were in different places as far as like, with Nate was just, he was just having the twins, and that was kind of a whole thing he had to deal with. And my kids are a little older, so it was a little bit of a easier thing for me. But then that gave me the opportunity to actually get better, because it's something I've never really spent a lot of time on. I've been able to spend a lot of time on is really kind of getting to where I thought I could be, and I just kind of did it. But it gave me the chance to really work on it and really try to get better and make things tighter. So when, stuff we did right was, I can just contribute a lot more than I used to. So it was something that helped me to kind of focus on it a little more, and it's kind of carried into today. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, COVID sucked. I mean, any way you look at it, but I mean, it did give me some extra time to hone my my skills a little bit better to really contribute.
It's funny when you brought up blessing in disguise, because I had brought that up in like other interviews that I've done. And there's been people who have been impacted pretty bad by COVID, and sometimes there's been those who've had that blessing in disguise where they were able to learn something else, maybe a different instrument, or maybe even take off in the music project, for instance.
Yeah.
So I can see why. I guess, did you guys have any brushes with COVID? Were you guys okay?
yeah, I had gotten it twice, I think it was. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. The first time, I think it was the second time that kind of knocked me on my ass for like 3 days or something like that. The first time it wasn't too bad. It was maybe like 1 day. Second time, I feel like it was, it did kick my ass.
Yeah, it didn't go through our household or anything. I mean, we got pretty lucky with it. So we know plenty of people who did, family, friends, and then but we got kind of lucky with it. I never got anything, and so it was just we escaped it somehow. So yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Just, I mean, yeah. I mean, we were expecting it, any day now. So one of us got to get it, so but yeah, it was never really a thing for us. It was, kind of lucky.
Out there in the mountains.
Yeah, well, there's that. So we were kind of spread out here anyway. So it wasn't like, I was really close to anybody to begin with. My nearest neighbor is 200 yards over. So yeah, that kind of helps.
There's a benefit of being spread out in a mountainous region. So
definitely.
I was going to say luck of the draw when you think about it too. So I can see why.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, it's good to see you guys are doing well there too. So good to have you along for the ride.
Awesome. You too, man.
Thank you.
So I know you mentioned about influences earlier with the whole thing with Pantera, Sepultura, and all that sort of music too. So I guess who else really influenced you in terms of your play styles? So Eric, you can go first.
Yeah, I started out, big Metallica fan. Right in high school, that's when, the Black Album hit, and then that was, and Justice for All had just, happened, Black Album. That era really kind of kickstarted me into really wanting to play, and then, being for better or worse, a big fan of Lars, and, just kind of where that was like, he was like the bass line, and then, eventually I started to spread out and broaden my horizons with other drummers. But I mean, he was always kind of like my first big influence to get into this. And then, as I went along, I started to, trying to broaden my horizons, get into heavy stuff, like Nate said, Pantera, Sepultura, Machine Head, anything in that early 90s, like really, metal scene. And then as I got older, I tried to look at other things as, other types of music, and, just really kind of broaden it, because I was just stuck in a rut, just playing the same stuff. So I really wanted to get into, other things and try to learn other things, and, just try to change it up. But yeah, it's pretty much anything now, but starting to creep back into the heavier stuff, and really kind of get motivated with that again, and trying to follow like more progressive stuff. Like, I'm a huge fan of Mike Portnoy, so just trying to soak in as much as I can, like a sponge, because he was just on Drumeo. I was just watching it like a hawk. So just trying to learn everything I can. I mean, but I guess I'm never too old to learn. So, but yeah, just all over the map really for me as far as influences.
I was going to say, in terms of watching him like a hawk, I mean, like, you can still do that and you still would not learn a whole lot just from watching him. So
yeah, no, he's amazing.
He is too, yeah. So I guess Nate, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, my top, my Mount Rushmore or whatever, you've got Kirk Hammett, James Hetfield, Dimebag, Rob Flynn, Dino, and those are like the top, I guess the top five. So yeah, Machine Head, Fear Factory, Metallica, Pantera, Sepultura were like the big influences, which is strange because I don't hear any Metallica in my playing, or Pantera really. So it's just kind of weird how that works out. But I mean, other bands too. I mean, God, we'd be here all night. Everything from Meshuggah to God, like Kilgore, Nothing Phase, Ultraspank, Snot, all those like late '90s kind of. I guess you'd call it new metal. I don't know. But yeah, I'm all over the board with metal and with other genres too. Like one of my other kind of favorite genres is like the mid to early 2000s. Well, it used to be called emo, but it's more specifically now like the Midwestern emo. So bands like Mineral and Elliott and Further Seems Forever, Gloria Records, stuff like that. But yeah, man, I mean, just heavy stuff. Like, I said I was 26. I was pulling your leg a little bit, so like kind of a lot of the older bands, nowadays, which is kind of wild to say, but, yeah, just, that's pretty much it.
Those are all good choices. But I would say in terms of Pantera, I didn't listen to too much of it outside maybe like the major ones. I was always like Walk, Cowboys from Hell, and I actually got into Floods a little bit from their great sudden Treadkill. But the one that actually really got me hooked on them was actually Using My Third Arm.
Okay, right on. There you go. That's a heavy one.
That was the first time I heard it on the radio. I was like, damn.
We come from like those Pantera videos, like the home videos. Back then, that was like our Bible. That was like we lived by those things. Pantera was that's my second favorite band of all time. So that's big. That's saying a lot because I'm a music nerd and a very devout, loyal fan.
I mean, God, those videos, man. I mean, they'd get canceled so fast if those had come out now. I mean, that was. I mean, they were the best things I've ever seen a band do. They were like the first ones to really open themselves up, and turn the camera on themselves and then just show them behind the scenes. And Metallica did it for a little while too. I mean, that's what kind of drew us in even more because we didn't know these guys. This is before the internet. Now you can just look on a phone and just see whoever what a guy had for breakfast. But back then, you didn't know anything about these guys, and they just put the camera on themselves and it's like, hey, this is us. This is, take it or leave it. I mean, we do all this shit, oh well, get used to it, and we're gonna throw it on video. We don't care, and that was just, it just endeared them to us so much, and but those wouldn't fly today, definitely not.
Actually, was that the whole thing when maybe one of the videos when all those evangelicals came into, I guess, Diamond Vinny's house and they're trying to like convert them or something? He's like, "Oh, Satan's got me by the balls," or something like that.
Oh yeah, yep. Oh God. Don't even get us started on the quotes.
Oh God, yeah.
Ow.
So I was like, he's coming up on my left testicle or something like that. So
the black tooth grin.
I gotta love them. I miss those boys every day too. It would have been nice to see them live.
Yeah.
I was a little late to the Pantera train, so I've recently done a couple of those drum covers. Floods was one of them too, but I did Use of My Third Arm.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
so you played
Use of Third Arm or something like that. Fuck. I'm terrible at this name. Please don't yell at me, Pantera fan little piece. I'm sorry. So
you play drums?
I do play drums, yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mess
Have
around
you seen
every now
Pantera? Did you get to catch them? I think they played in Philly or Pittsburgh, somewhat on this last little tour that they did, the reunion thing.
You know what? No, I didn't. And I think it was because I just started a new job, so I didn't have the time. So it's kind of unfortunate.
But you'll still get your chance. I mean, it sounds like they're having a blast from what it looks like, and I think we're going to be seeing much more of that, not just live, but it sounds like maybe lay down, some new, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I haven't seen them since the 90s, so I would love to see this iteration of it and how they're keeping it going. So, yeah, I can't wait to go see them.
Dude, I saw them twice on this celebratory tour. I saw them once with Metallica in, where was that, Baltimore? No, it was in Jersey. And then I saw them again. They played in Virginia Beach. So we've got a big amphitheater. So, man, always fun.
Phil always walking around shoeless, and I think he even does that out in public too. He's walking like no shoes.
I was just watching. What did I see today? It was some interview or something with Phil, and he's just walking around backstage, just barefoot. Louisiana, I guess it's just
Well, I certainly ain't going to be doing that in California. I'll tell you that much. So,
I mean, I'm about it. I'm in summer mode here. Like it's been hot. Like I'm about it. Barefoot, sandals. Let's go.
I'll say it's harder than the gates of Hades outside, as my dad would say. So,
shoot, it's not even July yet. Gosh, we're in for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, brace yourself. Actually, it's been humid recently. That's the thing that's kind of got me too. And I guess it's been pretty humid from where you guys are at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Always Virginia and then south. I mean, it's awful.
I can imagine. Actually, going back to Pantera, I guess, what do you think of this new lineup too? Because me personally, I'm a little torn about it. And some other people I have interviewed where I brought it up, where they probably list Pantera as like an influence. They've been like a little torn about it as well with, Zach Wilde and Charlie Benante. So I mean, like it's a hell of a lineup, but did you have to call yourself Pantera? I guess, what are your thoughts on that?
Eric, go for it, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, at first I was kind of a little hesitant of it because obviously it's not Dime, it's not Vinny, but but respecting both Zach Wilde and Charlie, as much as I did, you kind of give it a chance. And of course, I haven't seen it live yet, but I've seen enough of it to really kind of go, oh yeah, this is what they would have wanted. I think, if you think about it, what the brothers would have wanted, and I think it works. And so, yeah, I was skeptical at first, but yeah, I think it's great. I think they're doing great with it.
Yeah, I'm 100% in. I don't even know why there was such a huge controversy. And I mean, I do understand. I do get it. Let me retrace that. But I am all for it. I think, and just how they did it too. As a celebration. It's not Pantera. Everybody knows it's not Pantera. They're not trying to be OG Pantera. Sure, they're using the name. It's a celebration. It's given the kids that didn't have the opportunity to see them or hear those songs live a chance to do it. I think it's breathing new life into just all those guys. And it's not even really a huge surprise. Especially with Zach, people have been talking about Zach since, the tragedy with Dime. So who else is it going to be? There's nobody else. He's the guy. Everybody, I feel like, has known that. Shouldn't be a surprise. Charlie Benante, at first, I was just kind of that interesting choice. I'm sure he could do it. Dude, I don't know if you've seen the videos or whatever. Again, I've seen it twice now live, and he nails it. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Well, I can't say that. I know. I feel like Dime definitely would be all about this thing. Vincent, I don't know. I mean, probably not, because if he was about it, he probably would have done it. But that's none of. I'm glad that things. I'm all about it, man. I love it. I think it's great.
I feel like for me, I think for Phil, it's some sort of redemption in a way, whenever you think about it. Because, you know what? I think the problem was Vinny took that thing to his grave. He had that whole vendetta against Phil because he always blamed him for what happened with Dime. So
yeah, and I can't,
don't blame him.
Yeah. It was a wild time, man. I don't know if people remember how big that split was, and just that whole period of, there was a long time where nobody knew what was going on. I don't even know if they did, just the whole split and everything. That was a big deal back then. Yeah.
So I wish him all the best going there for there too. But the cool one, that's funny one, because Vinny was doing one of those interviews on Loudwire, and the one time we went in the bathroom, we saw a guitar that was in there too. And he asked, Stein, what the hell are you doing with this guitar right here? I'm trying to make riffs here too, because my riffs are the shit. So.
Oh yeah. Dime would have guitars right by every shitter in the house. Oh yeah.
I bet he also took a shit trying to do in the little white bucket when it happened on stage too. So he was not running off stage. He was going to do it real quick and get back into action too. So you have to admire his commitment.
It's wild. Dude, they were wild, man.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of Vinnie Paul, Eric actually, so I'm a collector. I have a huge, Metallica is my main squeeze, and then it kind of just Pantera, then Sepultura kind of just trickles on down. But I have a few of Vinny's actual shoes, his shoes from his estate. And Eric, for tracking some of the album, wore Vinny's shoes for the record while recording the record. So that's kind of a cool little thing that's kind of special to us and not many people know about. But since we're talking about it,
Yeah, that was
I'm
pretty
curious,
surreal.
was this at some sort of auction? I guess how this happened.
Yeah, so there was an auction of Vinny's estate. You know, it was several years after his passing. Um, all kinds of awesome shit. You know, as a collector, you know, from a collector's point of view, I mean, there was so much cool stuff. And yeah, I missed out on a lot of it, but I was able to get a couple really special items for me. But yeah, and the shoes being one of them. So Eric slipped those puppies on.
Well, say, do you have nearby by any chance? Because boy, it'd be nice to kind of see them right now. Or where they at?
Oh, actually, if you go on our Instagram, I just posted about it today. But no, they're not accessible, man. All that. I've got so much stuff, dude. It's just like tote after tote. It's insane.
Yeah, there's a picture of somewhere that I think I posted, and with with me actually wearing them, looking down at the with them on my feet on the pedals, and yeah, it was pretty surreal. You know, definitely to because it felt really really weird, but kind of cool at the same time to just have a piece of him there, even though it was like a silly looking thing because they were snakeskin whatever boots or whatever they were.
Loafers.
Didn't really fit at all, but it fit in other ways. So yeah, it was kind of cool. It was a very big motivational thing for me to to get it done there, and it was really cool to have that. So I'm I'm glad Nate is kind of like that crazy collector guy, because I mean he's come up with some really cool stuff. And and I haven't even seen all of it either, but that was a really cool moment.
It's like, oh God, you don't want to turn into a hoarder at the last second, so that'd be kind of the bad thing there.
Too late for me. No, but it was really cool. It's like, in a weird way, it's like, we've got Vinny on the record. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things. Like, Sepultura, they the Roots album, I had heard about how they took the master, reel or the master tapes or whatever, and they buried it on some, and I don't quote me on this, I could have it, may not have all the details right, but they buried it like some kind of like sacred ground, or did like some kind of, blessing ritual kind of thing, left it overnight, unearthed it, and I mean, look, look what happened with that album, whether or not that had an influence, but I think it's cool. Just these cool little things that we, humans are weird.
Well, it's always good to be weird, though. But I don't know about that. It seems kind of a little strange, too. It's almost like some sort of ritualistic sort of blessing they were kind of doing there. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Hey, it's metal, baby. People like to do some strange things in the metal world.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
There you go.
But it's all cool. And actually, that's a cool story sharing with like a little memorabilia that you have with Vinny and Paul there, too. So, good on you, Nate, for getting it. And thank you, Eric, for wearing it, too. You had a piece of Vinny on you, even though I know it comes off a little strange, but even though you get the idea.
No, yeah, I know it worked. It definitely worked.
Right. And may they rest in peace there too. And good luck to Pantera out there with Rex, Zach Wild, Tribonante, and Phil. So keep it going, boys.
It's so crazy because Rex, man, I'll tell you what, because I'm in it, man. I'm watching all the interviews and just keeping up with everything, Pantera, all that. And dude, Rex just looks so happy. Like, I mean, he is just on cloud nine. Like, I feel like it's just great, man. It's great for them from how it appears, and it's just great. It's great to see them doing good and healthy and just doing the damn thing.
I would like to ask him, like, how high is he most of the time, to be honest? So he seemed to always have a thing with smoking weed a good bit, too, because I know in his interviews he talked about it a good bit when he was in Boy Scouts.
Who was this, Rex?
It was Rex, yeah.
Okay, yeah, all of them, man. Get your pull.
Yeah.
Get your pull.
Rex Rocker, I think that was his initial stage name when he started out. I guess that was when they were doing like the glam metal sort of style of metal back in the day. And Cowboys from Hell. So yeah.
Yeah. Projects of the Jungle stuff. Yeah, yeah. Some of those, man, I'll tell you what, like, I don't care, man. Some of those tracks for like glam, they're cool. You know, it's you can hear Dime and you can hear Vinny, and yeah, it's glam, but dude, there's a couple of those that are like bangers, you know? It's all about, you know, girls and this and that, but man, I'll crank it sometimes. Sometimes in a blue moon, I'll pop in that old shit.
Well, you think more Gemini? Because I think Dime did something with a band called Gemini way back in the day before he formed Pantera. And I would say it was a little bit of like a Judas Priest sort of style with Cowboys from Hell.
It was when it was still Pantera, but it was when they had the singer before Phil. What was his name? It was like was it Glenn something or I can't think of his name right now, but no, it was still Pantera, but just the singer before Phil.
That's so cool. All right. So it's all good there too. Actually, we talked 20 minutes of a whole good Pantera right there too. So we're doing something right. So
I do. All day, man.
All day, every day. We'll do it now. But to move on here too, and this one kind of goes back to COVID a little bit here. So I guess since they started lifting COVID restrictions, I don't know how bad Virginia was, but I guess how's your neck of the woods been? Has it been on the up and up? Music scene looking good and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's been. I mean, I feel like Virginia was not as bad as other states. I mean, so yeah, I think things kind of started to loosen up here a little earlier than other places. But yeah, I don't remember exactly when when you started to be able to do concerts again. But it was it didn't take that long for that to start back up. At least here, I mean, we don't get a whole lot here as other the bigger states, bigger cities. We don't have like those huge venues like other places do. So, I mean, it really wasn't like a huge difference between the two where we weren't getting something. And then, because our big concerts are far between anyway. So it seemed like it wasn't that bad on our neck of the woods.
Yeah. Here, I mean, COVID's been long gone, I feel like.
That's good. Thank God, yeah, that whole thing. And actually, have you guys played in any live shows yet? Or did you guys just kind of stick to just making music?
No, not yet. Everybody's kind of spread out. John is in Canada. Christian's in LA. Eric and I are easy. We're only like 3 hours away, something like that. But no, not yet. We're waiting, as baby steps. We've got the album that's coming out, so hopefully that'll be the stepping stone to hopefully getting some offers and getting us all together, because it's super expensive. I mean, touring anyway is super expensive, and then you just add in the logistics and the fact we're a new band, and then all of the upfront costs associated with it. It's like, yeah, we could use some help. So if there's any investors or labels, take a listen to the album and slide on into the DMs. Because, yeah, I mean, it's expensive, man. We're dying to play. We are dying to play. We're going to make it happen. First things first, man. There's got to be a demand first. So hopefully the album helps with that, and we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, like I said, it's going baby steps too, but it would be nice to, I guess, if you were to tour, would you first just want to stick in around Virginia first, or try to do like any venues you can?
I'm ready. Wherever. Just down to play.
Anywhere, any day, anytime.
Yep.
So, all right. I'll see how it happens here too, but it would be nice to get you up here in Pittsburgh one of these days. So.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Fingers crossed. So
not that far. I think Pittsburgh's only maybe like 5.5, 6 hours from me, at least.
I want to say you drive pretty well there too, because I tend to not like long car rides. Anything that's like between the 5 to 10 hour drive. That's driving to Georgia too. That's a pain in the rear end, just sitting most of the time in the car. So.
Yeah, you're telling us. We actually shot our first music video. We did a cover of Depeche Mode's "Enjoy the Silence," and we did a video for that down in Georgia with Scott Hansen, Digital Thunderdome Studios. He's done everybody. I mean, he's done Meshuggah, Seven Dust, everybody. The list goes on and on and on. So we know about that Georgia drive, and we've got more coming too. So I feel your pain.
More the pain in the rear end, as they would like to say. So
stop at south of the border, get some fireworks or something.
Or the fans of fireworks, yeah. You always see those stands nowadays. They're just gonna be scaring every dog on the block, just shooting those things off.
You got to go down south to get the good ones.
Really? I just say all fireworks are equal too, but I guess they go a little bit more crazier in the south.
Yeah, like Virginia has laws. You can't have fireworks that actually like shoot projectiles up into the air. You can only have the ones that emit the showers of sparks. North Carolina, the same thing, but as you get into South Carolina, that's where the laws ease up and you can get the real deal.
Of course, South Carolina.
Some there, you know what I mean? I would never, transport them back to Virginia and use them in my backyard or anything. But yeah, that's what you got to do. Go set up at the south of the border parking lot and fire a couple off.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, I've never gone to Tennessee, which is an hour and a half away, and bought any fireworks. And I would never condone anything like that at all, and shooting them off in your front yard. So definitely don't do that. But yeah, make them stay out there. But yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, those nasty, really fun, really loud fireworks that you can get that's really not available here. But don't do that.
God forbid we do that. So
God forbid you break the rules.
But actually, this is going to air sometime in August or maybe sometime in September. It's going to be one of those times. But I mean, 4th of July.
The album's out. Victim.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is out.
Yeah. So at this point, we can already spoil it. So it's all good since it's pre-recorded. So we can at least say the album's going to be out June 28th. So there we go.
The album's been out, guys. Why don't you have it yet?
I know. It's already August. You guys are watching this. Go get it. Support these guys.
Getting cold out here, guys.
Actually, go back to your album there, too, or at least one of the songs you had released, Victim of You. I would say that was my favorite that I heard from all the free songs you had on Spotify.
Awesome. Yeah, dude. That one, that was a ton of fun. We've got Christian Machado, guest vocals on there. Christian Machado, of course, ex El Nino. His new band is Lions at the Gate. It's got members of El Nino. Diego's in there. Aru Luster, that used to play with Machine Head on the Burning Red album. He's in Lions at the Gate. In fact, they just released a single today. So go check that out if you haven't. But yeah, no, it was a super fun song. Christian killed it. It premieres tomorrow. I know we just talked about how this is coming out later, but we're super excited because Revolver actually picked up the premiere. So that's a first for Eric and I. I know for Christian and John, it's like, another Tuesday afternoon or whatever, but we're like, dude, we just found out about it yesterday and we're super pumped about that. So yeah, Revolver will have the premiere, and I love that song. I do. It's a cool song.
Guess what's it about? And then I guess you could also talk about lyrical content with like some of your other songs you released so far.
I mean, honestly, I would defer that to Christian and John. I have what it means to me, so I can speak on that. What it means to me. It's kind of like a breakup song. I could be wrong, or I could be right. I don't know, but that's what it is to me. And I would hate to speak for them, on what those lyrics mean, but that's what it means to me.
I guess, do you guys write any songs as well? I guess, do you guys share in the collaboration of writing any lyrics for any of the songs on this upcoming album?
No, I have no interest in any of that. We just write the music, and John handles all the lyrics and the melodies and the hooks, and he crushes it. So, and same with Christian Machado. You know, we just give him the music and say, have fun.
Knock yourself out. That's what you probably like to say. So,
yep.
All right. So he sends us that one. But I guess let's talk about the gear that you guys use. So just you two specifically, I guess. What sort of gear do you guys use? I guess, Eric, here you can go first.
Yeah, I have at home. I have an Alesis Strike Pro kit that I use. But so, I mean, noise is kind of an issue here with with kids and whatever. So it's perfect for me, and it the sounds and everything. Going through the VST, it sounds great, and it's great for us for writing purposes. You can probably get away with it for recording, but we kind of prefer the real thing for that. But as far as like what we write on and practice on, I can play that at all hours of the night, and in my ears it's booming, but to everybody else they can't hear a thing, so it's perfect. So yeah, that's the that's my gear in a nutshell.
All right, Nate.
Yeah, so for the record, we did something that's called reamping. So I would track guitars just as a direct signal, and then the producer, mix engineer, they would do what's called reamping to get the sounds. To be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly what they ended up using. Tu Madsen mixed and mastered the record. He's done a ton of stuff too. Everything from, he did Meshuggah's Violent Sleep of Reason album. He's done Sick of It All. Just a ton. He did Archaea's stuff, I believe. Just a ton of stuff. But yeah, so I don't know exactly what he used. That's a good question. One of these days I'm gonna pick his brain about what the heck he actually used. But the live rig is, I've got a Mesa Boogie triple rec. Guitars, I've got a bunch of different guitars. Some ESP. I've got an ESP 7-string, and ESP E2 6-string. But yeah, live rig is that Mesa.
That's pretty cool. And I guess, Eric, do you have any acoustic set at all, or are you just mainly just rolling with the Alesis and then just using that for all the recordings?
Yeah, the Alesis is my primary. Because it's set up like a real kit. It's got shells. The everything. The heads are about as real as you can get to. You can probably put real heads on it and go. But yeah, the Alesis is my primary, and it feels like a real kit. So, and it sounds like one. So it does the job definitely.
I've been looking up those hybrid sets because I play with the Roland. It's a TD25K, but I've been eyeing up. It's still going to be the Roland brand, but it's one of those big hybrid sets. So it's more like your traditional set. So
yeah,
pretty petty to say the least.
That was on the list, like a short list of what I was going to end up with when I upgraded myself to something that maybe could it be something that I could do both, and unplugged or plugged in, and this one just made the most sense just because of the the sounds and the sound quality, and I needed quality here, and this one was just the best one for me, and especially in I would have loved to go with like top of the line Roland, but within this one was in a little easier of a budget for what you get out of it, and it does perfect for me.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I guess in terms of like how you guys create the song, for instance, too, do you guys mainly do your end first and then send it off to Christian and John to do, or do you guys also take turns of like trying to put the song together? Like they'll send you something they made and be like, here, knock yourself out.
Right. So for this album, it was just us. It was just Eric and I. It is kind of weird, like just the way that everything. It's a long story. We're cutting a lot of corners here because it is a long story how everything kind of just naturally kind of evolved, and we didn't set out to, hey, we're Eric, let's call up Christian and John, let's write a record and put it out, and let's go. It was a natural kind of progression of how things went. But so for this one, no, the songs were, just Eric and I, writing and arranging and everything. There was a little bit of, now obviously that's just with the music. I mean, when we do our thing, he does his thing completely on his own. We send it to Christian, he does his thing completely on his own. But what I'm really looking forward to is actually on this next one, there's going to be some actual like collaboration, some riff exchange, some arrangement ideas. I really, it's going to be especially cool for me to write with John, or write with a vocalist, because it's just better. It's just better. I think we're going to be able to, just come up with a lot more cool things when those two are being written kind of simultaneously instead of after the fact. So yeah, to answer your question, none of that on this album, but we are like super stoked to write together on this next one, which we've already started. We've already actually been laying down some stuff, so we're moving, man.
That's good to hear. I'm sorry, Eric, were you gonna say something?
No, it's a, we've had this process for a while, and and getting another set of ears and another set of eyes in on it is kind of a new thing for us, and we are excited about it to be able to kind of open that up to others and to really kind of streamline that process even better than what it has been in the past, because I think we've done pretty well. But then, just that bonus of these other guys being able to put their expertise in there, and it's really exciting to see, what we can actually accomplish with that. Even it's just the way we've done it so far, and then to take this and in a whole new light, it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm excited. Yeah, definitely.
And John is a monster. Like, most people probably know him as, just a vocalist. Dude, that is just one small piece of the pie with John. I mean, he does it all. He's awesome. I mean, he plays guitar. He's nasty at guitar. His writing, synth. He had a lot of contributions with synth work on this album. He's awesome, dude. And he's awesome. Drum programming. We actually worked together with an instrumental on the album. He and I, and he did some drum programming. So that was kind of like, a small little, just the birth of working together as far as writing. But I mean, John is such a huge asset. I mean, vocals is just one small piece of his capabilities and his expertise, and his knowledge around the studio too. I mean, he has a studio. He records bands. He mixes projects. I mean, John's just the shit.
Yeah.
So getting him on board in the writing is just it's gonna be awesome. Like, I am so stoked for this next record. Yeah, man.
So you guys definitely met a whole lot of people who've had good amount of the resumes whenever you think about it too. So you guys been blessed in that sort of capacity. So,
oh,
and I know, Nate, you were using the word evolve too. We're devolve. That's what
right.
That's what
right. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. The evolution of devolution.
There we go. Yeah. Actually, I was thinking of some of the lyrics from. Are you guys big fans of Whitechapel?
I haven't really fucked with them, to be honest with you. I don't know if I've even heard any.
There's a song called Devolver, and the most worthless creation of all has finally devolved in something beautiful. So that was actually one of the chorus lines. So, yeah, sums up what the band's going through right now.
That's fitting.
I think it was Arch Enemy has a new record or a new song, something. It's called Deceiver. I think.
You
are right, yeah. And I was looking it up and thinking, oh, I wonder if they got that idea.
But
it was a
Deceiver
believer.
Not. We did not. No, we did not bite that. I don't know where the hell that came from.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so interesting how. Yeah, I don't know.
unfortunately, I beat you to the punch. So you had to do deceiver believer. So
Hey, whatever. Yeah,
it worked. It worked. So that's all that matters. Okay. So I guess dive into social media. I guess what social media are you guys on so people can check you guys out?
Instagram is probably like the main one. That's the one that we give the most love to. I want to be much better with the Facebook, but we're on Facebook too, which is still like pretty active. Devolution 804 is the name for both of those. Trying to figure out TikTok, trying to figure out Snapchat, but yeah, it's if you see this in August or September, I still haven't figured it out, so don't go there. Instagram, man. Yeah, Instagram's the main one.
Yeah.
You just need the short little reels, and then you'll be able to get like hundreds, if not thousands, of views to check it out. So that's how it goes these days. That's what I hate about it too. Is like just say like small clips too. It could just be someone who does like those acrobatic sort of jumps too, and it'll get like 1,000 views just because it's less than 30 seconds.
Totally. Yeah, the algorithm, all that stuff. We just had a pretty cool. There's a channel. It's called Cats and Metal, and what he does is he puts funny cat clips to metal song clips, and it's hilarious, man. And he did one for Deceiver Believer. That's kind of funny. We've got another one dropping. Actually, it might even be tomorrow for Victim of You. So those are fun. Those are fun.
That's interesting. Actually, I saw one. It was like involving chickens, kind of like just doing the whole thing, like moving their shoulders and everything like that. When I listened to like Symphony of Destruction playing,
right?
Yeah.
All the weird dancing and the like river dance, the metal like Meshuggah and church dancers to like crazy stuff, man. The internet's a wild place, man.
Yep.
Do tell. Actually, are you guys part of the Facebook group Band Together?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Strongly encourage you to join there too, so you'll be able to share your music and also get some new fans come out and check out your music there too. They'll help you out with those streams on all the platforms and everything. But there's something Christina and Greg from Vox and Sticks they put together. It's for indie people, so it's good to bring all the musicians together there and you can share the music and just chat, just do all that other stuff there too. So strongly encourage.
Band Together on Facebook?
Yep.
Let me go find it right now. Sweet.
Right. But I was leading into this question here too. So Eric, I guess what sort of advice would you give to musicians and I guess any musicians in your neck of the woods and on social media?
Oh man.
Do you want to ask us this? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm somebody that there's people that have done this that we've known that have they don't play anymore for one reason or another, which life happens, and you kind of have to make a decision, and it's either this or that or whatever, and that life gets in the way. My advice is to don't give up on anything that you want to do, because this thing right here is where it's at, because me and Nate didn't give up on this. And, especially Nate's been kind of leading the charge here, with this for so long, and, and just never gave up on that focus, and, and not even to really to get anything out of it, but to just keep playing, keep playing something, keep doing something, keep it in your life, because you spend a lot of time and energy and and making friends and this and doing this thing, and then to let it kind of fall into the wayside and never go back to it is kind of sad. And so try to stay connected to it as much as you can. If you can't really play, but just stay connected with it and don't give up on it, because it'll happen. Things will happen. If it's huge, if it's small. That's where I'm at with this too. Is just that's what I would tell anybody who's kind of on that crossroads. Is like, don't give up on it. Figure out a way to make it work in your life, and go from there. So that's what I'd say.
That's good advice.
You try to top that, Nate?
I'll do my best. Now, for me, it would be two things. One thing, similar to Eric, but one thing would be confidence. You've got to don't learn from our mistakes, right? I think confidence really held us back for a lot longer than it probably should have in hindsight. Just not having the confidence that our stuff was any good. We would write songs, we would write Deceiver Believer, you know what I mean? Like, and just have the music or whatever, and we would like post to, Facebook or whatever, and YouTube, just whatever, and it was like crickets, like nothing. You know what I mean? Like 17 views after 6 months, and that, again, in hindsight, it's stupid, but I think that we took that as an indication, as like, dude, maybe, people just aren't really into our shit, but who cares? I mean, we're still going to do it. We like it. We think it's good. But, there was just that confidence that kind of held us back. I mean, I hate to say it, but that would be my advice. Don't make the mistake we have, or that we made in waiting so long because we were bitches. So own the shit. Have that confidence. And then the second thing would be, and this doesn't apply to just music or bands or whatever. It's just, and it's similar to what Eric was saying, and it's so cliche, but like, just fucking do it. Like, just do it. You don't have to have a huge master plan of what it is, but whatever it is, you know what it is. You know what it is that you want to do, that you're passionate about, and just do it. Like I said, you don't have to have that plan. Just make the commitment with yourself, and I feel like the universe responds to that. And if you just take these little steps, the universe is gonna open up, and you just fucking do it. So that would be my advice.
I'm not gonna remember the joke, be like, "Hey, watch your mouth there, man. It's a friendly podcast, for fuck's sakes."
Yeah, I was gonna ask too. But then I was like, "Well, shit, I've already been cussing, so I guess."
Yeah. Are you gonna have to bleep us out? Is that what's gonna happen?
I always find the bleeping parts to be funny whenever they did it in like those teenage or the adult sort of shows, whenever they do it like on Adult Swim, for instance. So I would say that was a lot more funny than just like actually hearing the cuss words themselves too, because actually way back in the day, I think maybe in those early 2000s, between 2000 and 2010, for instance, whenever they would do like any of the censoring for like swear words, for instance, they would always maybe do like a funny noise or something like that there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, Samurai Champloo was actually known for that too. It was like doom doom, that sort of thing too. Whenever you heard it.
I don't remember that one.
So.
Yep.
Is this like a clean? It was cussing a no-no?
No, you're good. Don't worry, it's not made for kids. It's not made for kids.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, start over.
I'll tell the story this time, Eric.
Right. Jeez, you're all killing me. So, but you're all good too. It's all good. It's freedom of speech. That's the thing. So.
Yes, sir.
Yes, here. Let's jump into this question, then we'll get into the phone ones right afterwards. So, I think you guys have listed like some of your challenges that you have been facing with like band musicians being in different parts of the world. But I guess, and I know you're not touring yet, but I guess what sort of challenges do you face these days being musicians?
Yeah, I mean, we're at stages of life now where there's a lot more responsibilities that are calling on you and tugging on you. Full-time job, you have kids. I mean, it's you name it. And the challenge is like I said earlier, it's making this fit in all of that. And good. I got lucky that I have a family that kind of encourages this to a point. And but as long as it's and works with the schedules and things like that. But that's like the biggest challenge that I've seen, at least for me, is, it's just the time, being able to spend, like, not like, 20 years ago where it was, this was every afternoon, whatever, or playing every weekend or whatever it was, you had, we were able to do when you're in your 20s. But now it's a little different, and, you have to manage your time a little better, and just, it's a lot more of a challenge to get that in.
Yeah, from my end, the biggest challenge, honestly, is money. The greenbacks, we're indie, we're independent. We finance all of this stuff by ourselves. Like, I sold, quite a bit of my Metallica, the poster portion of my collection, to finance all this. And like, that's the biggest roadblock being an indie artist, is just the money, because it just, dude, everything's so expensive. I mean, it takes money for everything. I mean, we're not talking about just production costs with the record. We're talking about all the other stuff, the artwork, the graphics, the physical, buying the physical merch, buying the CDs and vinyl. I mean, we wanted to press vinyl so bad for the, to have it at the release. I mean, I know we're going to have it eventually, hopefully sooner rather than later, but like, we wanted to have vinyl so bad for the drop of the record. And dude, it just, like, what do you do? We just couldn't do it. So that is a huge, a huge roadblock and a huge challenge, is just not having, the financial support that a lot of signed bands have. But we've made it work. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because I love having the freedom to do what we want to do. But it's tough, man. And at some point the well's got to be refilled. And so we're really hoping that this release, again, kind of stepping stone, and hopefully, people like it enough, and people, want to take a chance and help us out and keep putting out even better shit. So
Gotta take a roll of the die too. Yeah, the roll of the die, I think, in this case, because it gets, you guys taking a big gamble with this new album that you got coming out here too. So I guess you have to see how it goes. Plus, you also heard the emotion too. It's like, oh, we so wanted to do it on vinyl. So
it is. I mean, it's a game. I mean, it's really not like we were going to do this anyway. Like, whether you like Victim of You or whether people like it or not, I mean, we're going to expect to ever see the return on the investment. I would love to, and we're going to work our asses off so we do, but I'm prepared to not ever see that money again, and I am perfectly cool with it. I mean, we were having a blast. We're going to keep on rolling regardless. I'm
going to bring this up because way back when I did actually an interview with Keith Dabrowski from the Nightfall band, and he had talked about this bill that they're trying to pass in Congress. So unfortunately, I think it's getting held up by that whole lobbying deal and crap or whatever. But it was basically to help with a living wage for musicians. So basically, I think it was like a penny per stream. So
wow, I mean, that would be pretty. That would be a lot better than what it is now. What is it, like 0.000, couple more zeros of a cent? But people are getting creative, like with the social media, and just, you've got to be creative and try to figure out other, revenue streams. And it's just fucking hard, as a new band. You would think, even with, Christian, like bigger names, you would think like, oh, dude, fucking walk in the park, it's just not, it's not like that, man. I mean, I even saw recently an interview with Kerry King, where he was kind of like taken back, kind of like, damn, like this is hard. I've been, I've had it good in Slayer, and now, so it's tough. It's definitely tough. But what do you do? Labor of love.
It's like, get up and do it again. That's what I like to say.
Absolutely. I mean, yep.
Absolutely. But just wanted to throw that out there. So make sure you call your senators and representatives. Let's get that damn bill passed already. It's way past due. So
Yeah.
I think it happened. So
Make some money.
Let's get that money. Let's get that money. Earn that money. Yeah.
Some shillings.
Yep. Okay. So Eric and Nate, we're down to the fun questions right now. So I guess you all ready?
Oh, what do you mean fun questions? We've been having fun the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have. We talked for 20 minutes about Pantera. So yeah, we've been having fun. At least ones tend to be a little bit more creative.
Then you'd really be freaking kicking yourself.
I was just saying, those are more of the honest questions there too, because you never know what sort of answers you're going to get from here too. So I mean, we call those the sweet and honest questions, to be honest, and then whatever funny stuff pops in, then it's just icing on the cake, to say the least. So how about this? These are the extra fun questions.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So Eric, for the first one here, I guess, what would you consider as your favorite food?
Oh wow. I'm a big pizza guy. So any pizza, like finding a joint, like if we were going tour, that would be a nightmare because I would just eat pizza. But yeah, or we go to a new town, I try to find like a local pizza place, and then that's my thing. It's pizza all day long.
And for me, it would have to be either a New York strip or a ribeye, medium rare, maybe just a little bit under medium rare. Yes, sir.
That's a good one too.
He's a carnivore at heart. So to say the least. Actually, Eric, I would say that should be like a vlog sort of series you just put on YouTube there. Just look for all the pizza joints whenever you toured. Just do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that, and so yeah. I mean, I'm that's like it's a big thing for me. So, and sometimes too big. So yeah.
Yeah, I can understand. I've seen like a pizza sort of Facebook groups there too. That's kind of, I think I accidentally joined one too. So you see like these odd pizzas that they're putting together too. I would have to stick by the Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of thing that I saw was like Arnold's Pizza Shop. It was like, if you like something crazy like pineapple, I'll kill you.
Oh my God, that's a classic.
Let me ask you, Eric, since you're the pizza connoisseur, there's the whole pineapple and pizza controversy. Where do you stand?
I'm a traditionalist. I mean, I'm just meat, cheese, sauce. But pineapple would have to be the only thing there, and it would be, and I'd probably pick it off. But there's some people that just that love it. But I mean, not my thing.
Heated debate, man. I see it out there. Heated debate.
It is. It's a debate. I mean, but hey, my kids like love the pineapple, like the Hawaiian thing. I don't know why, but it's just that's a thing. The Hawaiian pizza. I didn't know that was a thing until Domino's came out with it, and so yeah, they eat that stuff up. But I mean, hey, if it floats your boat, go ahead. But I'm a traditionalist, so I like pepperoni. Give me pepperoni. I'm good.
I'm kind of a mixture between you two, but I like the meat eaters that we get there too, with like the ham, bacon, sausage, pepperoni, and all those guys.
Sure.
So it's a good blend there too. They actually do debates about what sort of pizza or what you can put on your pizza.
Yeah.
I'll say that probably sounds like it's easier than like a Christian and atheist debating.
Yeah, no, it's the internet. It's out there,
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, next. Okay. Here, Nate, for the next one right here, I guess, what would you consider is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man. I mean, I don't know if it would have to be something like Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, Back to the Future 2, Ghostbusters 1. One of those. One of the classics, man. So it's either yeah.
I mean, Eric's just begging to say the question there too. That's why I kind of jumped to you. So,
what is that? Terminator or Star Wars?
Yeah.
I guess Eric is the obvious thing of all the Star Wars, the original ones.
Yep, OG trilogy. That's where it ends for me.
Did you watch any sequels? I guess any of the shows they came out with on Disney side.
saw the movies, the shows. I gave a chance, and it just wasn't my thing. So but I still got the old stuff, so I'm good. They can keep making whatever they want. So I just just it's not my thing.
They're probably killing, or I probably should say a bad term too, because they were crucifying the whole thing with the Acolyte, the whole thing with Star Wars going right there too. I mean, it's not been pretty, to say the least.
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast, man. I could be. Yeah, that's a sore subject. It's kind of a mess, and but apparently some people like it, so good for them. So they keep making stuff. Somebody likes it, so sure, have at it. And it's it's definitely taken its own. They've taken their own liberties with things, but hey, George sold the company to them, and now they have it, and that's just the way it goes. So, we have to just roll with it, and if that's what you like, but you have the choice not to watch it, and that's my thing. I can go back and watch the stuff I like, so that's the cool thing about it.
As you know, too, he's committed because he has the Kylo Ren mask in the back there too.
So. Yeah. So I got a tad bit of Disney in there. So, but yeah, it's mostly OG stuff. My the Legos. My kids like the Legos. So yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. We can all share it. But yeah.
I actually do remember having the Legos too, but man, I was a destructive kid when it came to Legos. So
yeah,
tragic to say the least.
Yeah, and that, now I'm like my parents. I'm like stepping on them and getting mad. It's like this whole weird circle thing. It's like I used to be all over the Legos, and now I find them laying all over the house, and it's like, what happened? where did this where did everything go wrong? And now I'm that guy getting mad. Pick these up. So, but yeah, it's like a cool thing that to be able to kind of share. That I will give Disney Star Wars a credit for being able to introduce my kids to it and made it cool for them. So I was able to kind of bond a little bit. So, but yeah, it is what it is. So, it's fine.
I actually do remember having the original trilogy. It was on VHS way back in the day there too, but also it had I guess before the movie kicked off, they always did a little behind the scenes. Talking about how they did this and that too, because I think in Return of the Jedi they talked about the Sarlacc pit. I guess how they formed everything, as well as all the stuff going in at Jabba's palace.
Yeah, so. yeah. Practical effects, man. It makes a difference. So yeah, it's a big difference between the computer generated stuff and the real stuff, and you can tell, and especially now. So, but yeah,
that's for sure. All right. Nate, here for the next one here, I guess. What would you consider as your favorite alcoholic drink and non-alcoholic drink?
So, dude, I hate to be the stick in the mud, but I don't drink anymore. God, it's been a while, man. I quit drinking when I was 23. So let's see, if I'm 25 now, we can do the math. Let the mathematicians do the math. No, but I don't drink anymore. Back in the day, it was gin and tonic and Bud Light, but I mean that was back in the day. Non-alcoholic drink, dude, I love ice water, man. I love ice water and just old-fashioned Coke, dude. Pretty boring.
I guess Eric.
Yeah, I still dabble with alcohol a little bit, but the bourbon's kind of our thing here. So we're pretty big into that. We're not real heavy beer drinkers or anything like that. Go to a brewery every once in a while, but a good IPA is on the beer side. So we've kind of gone, as we've gotten older, we're not hitting hard and heavy anymore. But it's either a sip of bourbon here or an IPA there, and just kind of quality over quantity nowadays.
Yeah, you're in line. And Nate, congratulations on being sober there too. And I meant to lead in with that question too. Do you guys drink by any chance? Because sometimes I do that in my interviews, because there have been those sorts of talks too, where people have given up alcohol. They probably drank a good bit way back in the day, and they gave up for the right reasons. So
sure.
Good job, Nate. So
yeah, dude. It's all good. I mean, whatever works. To each his own.
I would tell you would have got along with my dad too, because he's real big into gin, and that's a big thing over in Scotland. When I went actually over there not too long ago.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Well, you family over there, or were you just vacation, or?
It was just vacation, and it was actually my first time to Scotland. But then we worked our way down to London, which was my second time in that city. So, beautiful trip. But boy, it was a lot cooler. It was like I'd explain it. Like some of the days, it felt like it was more like the start of autumn was like right around the corner too. It was like that cool. So they had to pull the jackets and the blue jeans and everything too. It's not like what it is here. So
that's all. Did you do any of like the castles or anything, or?
Yeah, we did a couple, and let's see. We did the Edinburgh Castle, we did the Stirling Castle, and then we did a couple actually in Wales. And actually, we saw the one, but we didn't go in it. It was the one in Conway, and then there was one called Caernarfon. I mean, that's how you pronounce it. I will say this: Welsh is pretty strange. I thought it was more of an English dialect, for instance. It's its own separate language too, and it's interesting. I was gonna say that it's interesting. So.
I want to go. I want to go see like crop circles, do like a crop circle tour or something by helicopter. Like that's, I don't know. In Europe, that's what I would want to do.
I don't know about helicopter. I think some of these accidents, like the one that most recently happened to Kobe Bryant, I think that deterred me enough to say no helicopters.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell to the no with the helicopters.
Eric's wife was a helicopter pilot in the U.S. Navy.
That's right.
Oh, was she?
Mm-hmm.
Is she still part of the Navy these days, or is she even long since retired?
No, yeah, she got out a little while back. But yeah, that was a really cool little time period. But yeah, that's it's definitely a conversation starter. It's like, well, what do you do? It's like, oh, I flew helicopters. And I was, oh, okay. So, but yeah, it's always, it's a really cool thing that she got to do, and it's kind of neat that it's like something. I mean, nowadays it's not as much of an issue, but doing something that mostly dudes do, and being like a woman really kind of which was really cool for her to be able to do that too. So that's really cool.
Well, thanks for her service. So It really means a lot. So
appreciate it.
Okay. And for the last fun questions, and Eric, here you can do this one. I guess,
Okay.
What is currently your favorite song, or a song you've been listening to a good bit recently?
Favorite song. Well, I don't know. It's probably cheesy to say like our stuff, but I've been kind of enjoying. I'll put it this way. Favorite song right now is I would say my favorite song right now is Deceiver Believer. That's my favorite song. I mean, it just has to be. I'm biased, but it's just my favorite song. But so to not have the cheesy answer, I've been listening to a lot of like the older like Dream Theater. The like Pull Me Under is like a really, really good one. I kind of stuck. It's like I said, I started getting into Mike Portnoy and going through their stuff and watching and learning. But yeah, Pull Me Under is probably like my favorite song right now. So that's been kind of my playlist a lot, along with all my other older stuff. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So if our stuff is like the cheesy answer, there you go. There's the non-cheesy answer.
I actually did cover that song too. Pull Me Under on a drum cover, and actually did a collab with a friend of mine out of Greece who's real big at the Dream Theater, and Mike Portnoy as well. So
yeah, it's I've never really in progressive stuff, but then it's just that he kind of speaks to me, and I just like him a lot, and so I'm just trying to learn.
Do tell, right? And Nate,
Gosh, I'm just trying to think of what was in the what I was listening to the car last. Which still right now, I think what is on right now is COC's America's Volume Dealer. I think I was jamming out to that most recently.
We'll say that one sounds new. I guess. What's that one about? Is it one of those progressive sort of bands that Eric sort of listens to?
Oh, Corrosion of Conformity.
Oh, that one, Corrosion of Conformity.
Yeah, they are OG. I mean, they are old school.
Sorry, not used to the abbreviation with COC.
Right.
I would say it was Help Me Clean My Wounds, or Clean My Wounds. Yeah, that was the one song I heard a good bit. So
that's one of my favorite records. Deliverance. Yeah. I love some COC. Hell yeah.
I was gonna say I love the lyric. Help me, Jesus, help me clean my wounds. So, yeah.
That whole song. I mean, I love. Anytime I'm in standard tuning, for some reason, like that song, I just have to play it. It's one of the ones in my arsenal that I always play if I'm, tinkering around for longer than 10 minutes in standard tuning. You're gonna hear that.
It's a good Warren song to help get him in the groove of things. So I can see why.
Yeah.
All right, good choices. Okay, so Eric and Nate, we're down to one more question right here, and I guess before we jump into it, did any of you guys have any questions for me, or any final words you want to say before we jump into it?
I don't think so, man. This has been a lot of fun. Good job, dude.
Yeah, definitely had a blast talking about old Pantera days too, and everything there too. And
man, we haven't even scratched the surface. We could talk about it all night. We love it, man. Love it.
Unfortunately, I have to get up for work tomorrow though too. So unfortunately, we can't do too long. So
sleeping dead, right? No.
I would say that would be nice, but unfortunately, nah. Actually, I got family upstairs too. So, but what were you gonna say?
Oh no, you've got one more, right? You got.
Yeah, I got one more question here too. So, here's how it goes. Given what COVID has done, obviously it seems you guys have been pretty blessed in a way. But for those musicians and people who have been impacted by COVID or whatever else that happened in their lives too, and Eric, you can go first. What sort of message of hope could you give to musicians and people out there as we try to move forward in a post-COVID world?
I mean, I feel like the future's pretty bright now. I feel like a lot of the fear of people getting together is kind of dwindling a lot, and live music can kind of live again. And we've seen that over the last couple of years where like Pantera and all these big stadiums are now getting filled again. So yeah, it's like there's the fear and like apprehension shouldn't be there anymore. It should be free to just go wherever and play wherever you want now, because I don't think there's much of that really left in the world. Even the most like lockdown kind of places have kind of laxed a lot too. So I mean, it just should be the sky's the limit. Go play wherever you want now and go enjoy music wherever you want, and because it's not a thing for you anymore, and not a thing you have to really watch out for. I mean, to really control or and take control of your life and live in fear. Go out and enjoy it.
All right, Nate.
Yeah, like I said before, COVID has been just kind of personally just so far off of our radar, thankfully. But for those that are still happening to be like feeling the effects of it negatively, man, I don't know. Get your make sure you're boosted. I don't know. Wink, wink. Yeah, man. I really, you kind of got me stumped, man. COVID is just long gone, and I'm not even sure who really, I'm so U.S. centric, I'm not sure versed, exactly what's going on around the world and, restrictions. But if there are people still, dealing with that, then just hang in there. Hopefully things work out soon. But I think everybody, I don't know. It just seems like it's behind us. And again, like they're talking about new, bird flus that are transmitting to humans and this and that. And I think it's almost, we should be more worried about the next one.
Yep. And spoken like a bunch of true prodigies, as I always like to say. So that's why. And I know it's tough, and I know sometimes saying something like "don't give up" is sort of cliche, but at the same time, it's like saying these sort of things. It's true, even though it may be cliche. It's best to like always come out and just say it too, because that's really how you move forward in life. Otherwise, just lay down and die, as you probably like to say.
Yeah.
That's kind of dark too, but so
Absolutely, man.
well, you can see where I'm coming from. So well, thank you so much for sharing that advice there too. So, and Nate and Eric, we've reached the end of my podcast right here, and boy, oh boy, do we talk for a good bit. I guess before we close out, do you guys have any final words? Any shout-outs you want to do before we close?
Eric, go for it, man.
No, by the time this is out, this gets broadcasted. I mean, the album will be out for a little bit. Hopefully, y'all have been enjoying it, and so, yeah. I mean, keep looking for more. Right after that, I mean, if there's more where that came from. So, but yeah, I appreciate you having us on.
Awesome.
No worries.
Yeah, and kind of echo Eric. Album's out. We really hope you guys enjoy it. We really appreciate y'all taking the time to listen to it. I know it's hard. I mean, even my list of albums and songs and bands that I need to check out, like, I can never cross it off fast enough. So I know how it is. Sometimes it's hard to check shit out. So definitely appreciate it. You guys listening. Hope you like it. Huge shout out to, I mean, it's not just us. There's been so much. We've had such a great team behind us pushing this release. We've got Jackson, Post Idol Media, helping with a lot of the media stuff, graphics work, animations, website, things like that. Our radio promoter is the best in the business for this genre, Munzie Ricci. I mean, the dude's a legend. So we're in great hands with him from the radio promotion aspect. Huge shout out to Maria Ferrero from Adrenaline PR. She's been around. I don't want to say forever because she's a young soul, beautiful young soul. But she is just the shit. I mean, like I said, she's been a huge help with the PR, the publicity end. So it's a big group effort, and we really appreciate it from just everybody, and just we're just tickled. We're so excited, super stoked to be talking with you, and it's been great meeting you, and you did a great job, man. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it would be nice to talk more about Pantera, but I think you kind of expanded my knowledge about it enough already. So I already know so much about it too. So that's what I meant to say earlier. So,
dude, let's do it again, man. Have us back, and we'll check in, and yeah, we'll do some more, man.
All right, sounds good. So I guess after this album is released too, I guess what do you guys plan on doing like afterwards? Just gonna improvise, that sort of thing?
No, we're actually, the schedule's filling up quick. We haven't announced it yet, but I guess it's safe to do since we've got some airtime. But we're gonna give you the exclusive, Brian, right here, that we just locked in. We're gonna be doing another video with Scott Hansen for Deceiver Believer. So in August, maybe around the time that this comes out, we're going to be shooting another video. So look for that to be coming out. Writing like crazy. So that process has already started. We're just keeping it moving, man. The album is new to you guys, and we're super excited about it, but it's old to us, and we're already, just video, writing, recording, and who knows what else. You can plan. It's like I was saying earlier, you can plan, and you have to some degree. You have to have some kind of goal or some kind of target to aim for. But things just fall from the sky and drop. Who knows what opportunities are going to happen between now and then. And we're just super stoked, man. We're super fortunate, and we're just loving it. Working hard, ready to do the next one.
Get well to go work there, mates. So I wish you all the best of luck going forward there too. So
Awesome, man. Same to you,
Thank
man.
all right, so let's close out like this. Everyone, my guest today was Eric and Nate. They're hailing from Virginia right there. They're part of the group Devolution. So they got the new album coming out June 28th. So if you haven't checked it out yet, what the hell are you doing? Check these guys out. These guys know what they're doing. They're putting out some good music out there, and hopefully they get on the road here pretty soon. And they're probably going to be going on the road doing a new music video here. So I'll have to see what happens. But make sure you get on the streaming platforms. Go check these guys out here too. So let's make it happen right here. So
Awesome.
Eric and Nate, I want to thank you guys so much again for coming on. You all stay safe because it's this crazy world out there. Rock on. Stay
Thank
tuned,
you,
y'all.
Brian. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
you.